Hi, this is Oscar from Abstract Tech. On this video, I will show you how to configure the interfaces, the VLAN, and to create a self-IP on a F5 virtual machine. So you can see we have three interfaces which are not initialized, and these are the TMM interfaces. So the interfaces are used for managing the traffic. You remember from my previous video, by default the F5 appliances, when they are deployed, they are configured with, they are shipped with 4 different interfaces. The first interface is the management, and then you have another 3 interfaces which are used for the actual traffic. So we are going to be working with these two interfaces. What I did, I set these two interfaces, one to VMnet 10 and the other to VMnet 11. Okay, and they are already connected and powered on. I'm not going to use the last one. Okay, so let's save this. Those two interfaces that we configure on VMware match these two interfaces that we have here. Okay. And what we are going to do is we are going to create the VLAN and assign VLAN to those interfaces. So let's say that this is the public interface. I'm going to put public VMnet 10. Make clear we are not going to tag, so we are just running one VLAN on this interface. Basically, this step, what it's doing is creating the VLAN on the F5 device. So go to network and VLANs, and from there you can actually create the VLAN. So this is the first VLAN, and on the second VLAN I'm going to use let's try this private VMnet 11. Again, we are not going to tab on this opportunity. We are going to select 1.2, which is the other interface. Okay, and we are going to be finished with the creation of the VLANs. So by now we should have 2 VLANs created on the device, and what we need to do, we can do actually, is to check the logs and see what is going on. So in order to check the logs, tail-f for follow /log /LTM. We don't have anything yet. Log advanced messages because the box was booting up and was kind of busy, so I can ignore that. So we have the 2 VLANs created. Let's go to interfaces, and now you can see that they are actually up. So this is you can see it's a bug, or it's a characteristic of the F5 virtual machines on VMware. If you don't assign a VLAN to the interface, it's going to appear like this, like no uninitialized, so no initialized. The moment that you assign a VLAN, like we did, to the interface, they are going to go up. Okay, that is something peculiar for these virtual machines on VMware. So we have the interfaces, we have the VLANs. Okay, next step is to create some IP addresses. So on F5 devices, the IP addresses are called the self-IP. So basically, these are IP addresses that are owned by the appliance. So we need to check what IP addresses we are going to use. I'm going to be working with VMnet 10 and VMnet 11, so I need to use an IP address on this network. Okay, so I'm going to select this. Let's go with 2. Okay, that is the actual name. I usually use the name the same as the IP address, and the mask we are going to use /24. And in here we need to change to the VLAN that we want. In this scenario, is a public VNet 10 and non-floating because it's a IP address that is going to be assigned to this particular device. If you have a HA pair, high availability pair, after you create the non-floating IP addresses, then you create the floating IP addresses, which are like BRRP or HSRP. And in this scenario, we are not creating a HA. We don't have yet a HA high availability, so non-floating is fine. Let's click finish. And let's create the other IP address for VMnet 11. So let's go to create VMnet 11. In here we're going to use .2. That is the name. This is IP. Again, /24. Sorry, and this is private VMnet 11. And again, non-floating. For lockdown, just keep none. Basically, this It's a setting that you can use for configuring what ports, TCP ports or UDP ports are allowed on this IP address. For now, just keep on allow none is fine. So we have created both IP addresses. Let me show you that in here. Okay, we have these two IP addresses. Okay. Now, if you like to use the GUI in order to check this stuff, get to TM shell, okay, and then show net VLAN will show you, actually let's run list net VLAN will show you the two VLANs that we have created. Okay, exactly the same configuration that you see in the GUI. VLAN private VNet 111 for interface 1.2, public VNet 10 for interface 1.12. And then if we do listnet self, we have the IP addresses that we just created, okay, and what VLANs we are assigned. So if you prefer to use the CLI, that is the way to do it. Let's exit this. And okay, so we create two IP addresses. So what we should do now is to check that we can actually ping connect to these IP addresses. Ping, it should be enough in order to test connectivity. So I'm going to go to my hypervisor in this scenario, my computer. I'm going to try to ping that IP address. Excellent. So we are getting a reply. So that means that connectivity on that VLAN is good. And if I want to test connectivity on this VLAN, let's do the same. Excellent. So that means that the connectivity is good on both VLAN from the virtual machine to the hypervisor. Okay. The other way that to test this is from the virtual machine itself. So we can actually go to the virtual machine and trying to ping 210.10.1, and we have connectivity, which is good. And to test the connectivity on the other VLAN 10.10.10.1. Excellent. So basically that proves that we have connectivity from the virtual machine to the hypervisor and the other way around from the hypervisor to the virtual machine. Okay, so that is the way to configure interfaces, VLAN and Self-ips on a VMware F5 virtual machine. On the next step, with this connectivity that we have now, we are going to create virtual servers and pool and perform some load balancing with this virtual machine.